No, there's nothing. My lipstick is okay.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Hi guys. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the LK podcast. I'm your host Chengo.
And I'm your host, Lynette.
And on today's episode, we're going to do Science of a Dating Friendship. But before that, imekuwa muda, so we want to catch up. How have you been?
Nimekuwa sawa. Guys. No, hiyo tutaongea baadaye, but I've been fine, I've been good. I'm still trying to implement what we talked about at
Being your own employer.
But I'm working on like having a very healthy kind of working environment. So squeezy ikifika time ya kuclock after 1 minute it doesn't find me lacking outside, but I'm getting the hang of it. It's now we are going to month 7. Imagine even you're 2 o'clock 1 year kwenye like you think time is not passing.
And does it get better? Do you feel like ukianza ulikuwa nadhani utafika month 7?
Well, I don't. I had zero expectations because the job got me abruptly, but I don't know. I had never pictured a month 7. Acha niseme hivyo. But it's nice. It's when you do something you love, because for me partly what I do I love. It's a bit interesting.
It's a very cool job, Manzi. Muulize hapo kwa comments anafanya nini.
Sasa ni kama sitaki I'm not paid by my company to advertise them. Anyway,
we can ask them if they want to pay us to advertise for them.
Well, I'm speaking from a point of experience.
Oh,
I don't think they're ready to take us in anyway. Na wewe unaendeleaje?
Nimekuwa poa Manzi.
Na umekuwa mrembo, hebu tuambie siri ya mapenzi.
Number 1. Sio ingelewa kale leo lakini anyway.
Na sasa kama na watch utamwambiaje one for the man?
Talk by page. Anyway,
wow.
It's just taking up, drawing my curtains, making my bed, reading my
Bible,
chopping
birds.
I'm a princess, so birds love me. Asubuhi nikiamka ziko hapo kwa window. Coffee.
No, princess ameamka.
To fruits. Wellness shots. I've been doing runs and then walks in the evening. Yeah, follow me for more tips.
You are living the life.
Seriously.
And you still have the money in the
bank. I started reading hizi books atupendi zinaitwaje? Self-help. And then I hate them. I was the biggest hater.
Unasoma gani hebu tuambie?
Diary of a CEO.
Diary of a CEO. Who's
but I liked it.
I know there's a podcast called Diary of a CEO.
So he's
written a book. I do listen to his podcast, but if you've not, make sure you have. I feel like he's very broad in terms of the guest he brings. He'll bring a doctor, he'll bring a psychologist, he'll bring a voodoo guy, he'll bring an actual CEO. He's just so like all out in his kind of itinerary that
actually yeah. But I'm doing the audio version. I'm not.
When physical,
I was just trying, but nimeanza kupenda.
Okay, that's
I think I might switch for a while.
Ama
kama ni self-help, I'll be doing the audio. Kama ni zingine, I'll just be reading the physical.
Okay. Mimi self-help. Acha tu nijisaidie kwa hii maisha.
Jisaidie before saidiwe.
Sasa ndio sasa wacha ni let me
but
do my
everything they say is something you learn eventually.
But now my problem with self-help is there are people who lecture you and have not gone through it. Don't do that. As an author,
this so is I'm advocating, but you're not advocating.
I'm advocating for you to write about something you've gone through, not something that.
What if I've interviewed people who have gone through that?
Well, if you have, but I feel like an experienced. What I mean by that is, mimi nimepitia hiyo kitu.
Okay.
It's way better than you giving us like that's a second party reporting something.
But I also feel like even if you've gone through whatever you took, lessons you took from that is not the same. Two people can experience the same thing, but the outcomes can be different. Maybe you went with a negative nini, so the lessons you derived there they were bad. But a person who went with a different positive nini, the way they handle the things, it's different. So even if you read a self, you can decide if that's what you want for yourself. Write your own story.
Me juzi nilikuwa na conversation na msee. Guys, my work entails books, so that's why I'm so invested. But somebody who was speaking about this book, the Let Them theory. So I've not listened to it. I know Mel Robbins is somewhere in a podcast everywhere right now. But there was somebody who was like, the theory doesn't make sense. So for her, she was putting it into context. So this book is basically about let them, like just the words as they are. So if somebody does something bad to you, let them, the universe will coerce to do something. Unaona ushapola. I
love Jabba honesty.
You know Jabba, but the people are sold to it. That book is moving.
I did a lot of giving a fuck. I don't know if people like it.
Why? Okay, I've not read it. Okay, I've not read it, but I don't know. I don't know about that theory, but if it's working for you, no problem. Usi bague. Mimi sibagui. It's just my opinion. You're open to saying no, that opinion is bad, but anyway.
Opinions are free.
Na tume deviate sana from our topic.
Yeah, shall we get into our
topic of the day?
Topic of today.
So mimi hata nimekasimu chini because I have a lot to say, guys.
Signs of a dying friendship. Have you had any friendship that died?
Yes. Oh, there are lots. There are lots. I think for me,
a lot.
I have countable friendships that I've made.
Underline the word a lot.
Not a lot. I might be the problem. I don't know, but that we covered that in the previous episode.
Let's try just say if you're the problem.
I'm not the problem. I'm too cute
so
to be the problem.
So she says. But
I'm too cute to be the problem, please. But I think I was the problem and also the others were the problem. Like we were two merged problems.
It takes two to tango.
And two to be the problem. But anyway.
So what was the first sign? How did you know the friendship was dying?
No conversations and inconsistency. That was the first thing.
Inconsistency in terms of meet up, kuongea.
Kama ni mimi nakutafuta kila saa, mimi nitakudrop. I'll drop you. Nitakuangusha chini.
Did you communicate that before drop chini?
No, but do you need to be told that you have to check?
Yeah, I tell my friends. This is your last warning. If
no, wait. You have to remind somebody to check in on you.
No.
The answer is no. Stop thinking about it.
Sense of a friendship. Tukitoka hapo tumeachana. Anyway.
Mimi nakusaidia. I'm your support system. You're calling me out.
Because you don't expect people to know how you want to.
No, me I'm asking
I'd
you.
appreciate if you check. Okay, napana.
Yeah, it doesn't make if we are two friends here. Am I always supposed to be the one to remind you? Please, after every 1 month.
I'm an introvert. I don't like talking.
And then so you just I don't know, maneuver it. You're the one who chose to be here.
I'm shy to start conversations. Just check up on me, Lynette.
No, let me ask you. This is the same thing as relationships. People say I can't. Mimi unajua ikifika ni kwa kutext yezi. If it is the right person, you do it.
You're full of strength.
You don't drop that phone if it's the right person. Same way as if it's a friendship, if it's working, if it's somebody that you're always eager to see and want to maybe listen to their conversations or hear how their life has been, it makes sense that at the very least utampigia.
In this scenario, I've been busy with work, so nimechelewa kucheck up on you. So I've checked up after 1 year.
1 year?
Oh, umesema ni check up.
Nipate mtoto
akonsiviwe
na desire ndio unarudi. But in all honesty, checking up doesn't have to be every day or every week.
Okay, so limited.
But at the very least,
so after 1 year,
in 30 days, you did have one Sunday to just take your phone and say hi to me or even write a text.
Please, what when I'm busy?
A whole month of 31 days.
What if they're going through something?
Have
you checked up on them in 1 month?
I understand. Kwani hata watu wanakuanga na we've had cases of people have mental health issues, but si ati walikuwa wamejifungia always. These people, some people go out. Kuna mtu ako mahali anapitia self-harm, they self-harm themselves, but you don't know because they're always out. It doesn't mean because you're going through something that ati uta withdraw from people kabisa.
But it may take a while.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying in a month I understand, 2 months, 3 at max, no 3 a whole term, watu wameenda shule wamefunga and you didn't have time to like say hi.
Okay,
that
friends coordinate hapo mnaandika notes. Wewe kama umebakisha siku moja 3 months zishaanza
nitafute. But I understand because I've had cluster of friends who are parents right now, and I would for them I excuse wholly because you're going through a lot.
So I'm not watoto watuexcusiwi.
Hapana,
si ati child. My cat.
Hapana.
Puss, are you hearing this?
But on a serious note, if I understand because I have people who are like different ages, missing our friends like a specific cluster. I have friends who are younger than me, I have friends who are my age, and I have friends who are older, like way older than me, like double my age kind of thing. So it makes sense if kwanza wao they don't have time because they have a lot going on. So inconsistent, if your friend is inconsistent, check that
the friendship might be dying.
It's gone. Don't.
Also, I feel like another point, when the vibes change, I feel like there's a certain way you relate to somebody. Yes, kuna situations zinaweza fanya vibe change, but kuna ile like weird imechange kabisa. You guys used to be like so goofy, squeezy, mnaanza kwa kama acquaintances.
Kama nimeamua ku grow up.
Yes, give me another excuse.
There's a to grow up. Like
all of a sudden, you've become very clever.
You may realize, oh gosh, I'm 25 and we play a lot. Let me put down the play. I need to be serious.
We asking, are we okay? We're like, yeah, but the way they're moving, something is not
how
okay.
Are they moving? I have to know how are they. How are they moving?
They used to get a straight line. No, it's zigzag.
Tupatane Sunday.
Like same as when you're hivi sana. The next time tuna meet like staki sina story, staki kuku even.
Sasa sisi nitakuwa alarmed maybe I'm like okay. You're going through something. I think for
but
the
like,
vibe
nimekaa sana alafu and I'm asking are we okay, is everything?
Please give room.
Alafu ni kama tuna kushrug.
I give room for people growing up. It's a thing.
When you are joking, grow up. Kama nimeshtabu grow up, your friendship inakufa.
But anyway, we are excused to grow up.
Friends only net pekee.
Apana. Me sina shida. Me I'll be goofy with the right people. I will be goofy with them. But if I don't know. I don't know. If you're my friend, you're my friend. You've seen my goofy side.
Life is too serious to grow up.
But everyone usually tells you grow up, so I don't understand.
But do I? They tell me to. But do I?
Hiyo ni appeal. Nimeambiwa mangalia vibe check na Chengo. Amesema check the vibe check.
Also I feel like mwaka ikisha kama mjongea for friendship.
Si ulikuwa unatetea watu wa wani hapa saa hii tu 10 minutes ago.
Umesema consistency. Like an ikisha kama mjongea na mse. Bado mnafaa kwa friends. Acha nikuulize lakini kuna watu wamongeangi, but the moment you meet you guys catch up on everything.
Mnapitia like whatever has happened in
so is that a valid nini?
That's me. I've had friendships like that and they still work. Like the either me or the other person, one of us will resurface after a very long time.
Sense of a damn friendship. If they don't wish up you happy birthday.
Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know about that because I don't know. That was that was an issue for me when I was 19 and 18. Well, but right now you grew up. I grew up. In that aspect I did because like kama mimi sasa nimejiuliza next year sasa hiyo unajua yangu ni unique tunajuanga ni mwanzo ya mwaka, so I know somewhere in between is coming. But imagine birthday yako ni huko May, mwezi imekugonga makofi hata ukumbuki ni siku gani. No, they're excused. But the problem is if they do it 5 years in a row or 2, hiyo ni hapana.
Si beshte yako. Huyo hata harusi anaweza kosa kuja.
Kwani tunaita kila mtu harusi? Mimi mine it will have 25 people.
Friends.
Na nikikuona ukirecord na kutupa.
Okay.
I plan to get married to a tycoon.
And I'm sure ukikosa kuitwa harusi.
Hapana, no, there's a friend of mine who had actually the same scenario.
Unaweza kosa kuita rafiki yako harusi?
Yeye ilikuwa Rora show.
Hata nyeri umita akatema apeane excuse aseme they are busy.
Nikuite unipatie excuse.
Mimi
nikuite unipe excuse. I took my time to go through that list. Nikuite uanze
unipe busy.
Not for, please, not on my day. Make time. Uniambie
like kwa nini advance?
Ni hapana,
ama nini on just like story akisema easy destinations wedding kama like
it makes sense.
Ama but you invite your friends to a destination wedding and they refuse to come.
Kuna watu waliambiwa wakopua waache kuongea.
Sasa kuna mwenye anasema work meet, wamejuana hata wamejuana 3 weeks akamuita destination. So obviously akakataa because I'm assuming I think the end or something ongeza flights nini it was coming to almost 100k. Na hiyo ni msi umjui.
Hiyo na hiyo huyo.
But anasema the coworker aleta kuongelesha kabisa.
But sasa utanijaje for 3 weeks? Ujika nitakuja kuweka bomb kwa harusi. Why are people this naive? You know somebody for 3 weeks and you decide you want to call them for your wedding?
They just can't invite anybody to my wedding.
And it doesn't make sense. 3 weeks.
You know, I just felt like your energy was nice. So I'd like for you to be
you too much. I want boundaries, man.
But unaweza invite your friends to a destination wedding. Wakikata kuja unaweza fanyaje?
Wakikata kukuja, that's not on me, but you just know there's an aftermath that would be nice. That would be
kuja
lakini weka ukijua. But I don't know.
But I feel like it depends pia. Because from the arguments kulikuwa na kama unajua anti wako kutoka Murang'a the father session na
if people are calling their own family members to a destination wedding and asking them to pay for Kenyans.
But I feel like if like come on compare like compare like a good period like a year plus, I feel like it makes sense. Neza jipanga
Mwisho yako ameishi kwa na watoto wako na kansa wenye jetibisha unamuita diadi aende akakae atumie 3 hapana no.
And
for friends I call you but that is open. If you choose to come, you at the end of the day
you unafaa kupewa like a good notice you see labda from your head labda you have a good job una expect like most of your friends maybe they are having good jobs wana earn vizuri so unajua ni kuambia sai okay you are going but kuna mwenye anahitaji kuambia mapema jipange
but I think people should not really we intertwine money and friendship so much. It's a thing, yes, it's a factor, but then you don't get to decide what I do with my money. Kama mimi na bwana yangu tunajenga na sai kukuja.
Okay.
Because I feel like people have grown to a point where they think just because you're friends with somebody you know a lot about them. Do you know? I think for me it's a policy I keep. I don't allow you to know too much. Like there's a boundary to it. There, not ati nakuficha vitu, but what is supposed to be known will be known. But then
naona pale what I'm finding out for the first time. Ati ulikuwa unajua sasa ni best yake.
But unaona hiyo entitlement you have to know everything. Where did that come from?
I don't have to know, but pia wewe ukigozo nini useme ati she was not there for you. Mimi sikuwa najua.
But I chose
your friends not know.
If it's something that I'm going through and I decide that it's my own journey, I don't have to tag along everyone. Life is personal.
But you can tag 1 or 2 people for support.
If my husband is there and my
husband.
Okay. Still lazima ongeza out. But if I have my parents there who are supportive and I don't like,
but you know they'll be supportive also as friends, not only as family. What a show up in a friend capacity, so in a way they are still a friend.
Unajua there's one example I'd want to give. There's a lady interacted with at work and she said for her right now amerudi, the people there told me that she was a client there all of a sudden akanyamaza, now she came back. So the backstory was she had a very toxic job. The pandemic came, akaambiwa kazi imeisha. She was working in the legal sector of that company. So all through, from what I picked from the conversation, I think most of our friends didn't know, because the minute aliamba kuna job, I think aliona tweets, right, achukue vitu zake arudi kwao. So I think she went MIA, didn't speak to anyone, and then now she resurfaces back out of nowhere.
But on that point, I feel like a lot of friendships pairs you die when people are going through a lot. Unapatanga mtu alijiseclude, alafu I think you get used to that. Unajua pia kuna being alone inaletanga some kind of solitude. So unapata mshazoea ama hadi mshakaa bila kuongea. Especially you're going through things without letting people know. It's very most of the times utapata hawatarudi. Let's pick up from where we left. Most of the time nini hivyo upate waliingia job, labda wakaanza kuongea na wengine. It starts from there. I feel like if we allow our friends to love us, it's unfair for us not to receive even love during hizo times. Ama pia you can just let them know like, I'd love for you guys to show up in this. Hata kama si hautaambia the details, you can just inform them I'm going through something. I'd love if you guys kama ulikuwa call once in a week, kwa unanipigia like thrice in a week.
But is it your call to make that communication? Aren't they supposed to know it automatically?
Well,
for instance, no.
What if you're get? God forbid, you're not Jesus. That is going to do something.
No, see, Bo. I'm assuming say amenyamaza for a month, amekosa kushow up. It all goes back to that point of you have not checked on me for a whole month, 2 months, 3 months. That one does it. That is where the problem
okay, so like niko sawa.
Because trust me, if you are doing a monthly check-in,
at the very least,
at the very least,
unatita birthdays, but when you're going through something, you don't
let me ask
us.
you. No. Sister, because you've seen friends who've lost their siblings or parents, do they go announcing, telling people, "Hi guys, I've lost my parent or I've lost"? No, they don't. You don't say. It's not even in your position to say. You don't announce these things to the public. It is
announce to the public ama to your friends.
Okay, sasa mimi sikuelewi kabisa. Unataka nikae chini nianze kuandikia watu, "Hi people, just to inform you." But
for my friends who lost their niece, they informed me.
But sasa, you see, if you weren't checking in on your friend, mimi napeana casing point here. The scenarios where people go through or people withdraw from their friends and they don't want to go through stuff around others or their supposed friends. The minute
friendships gani?
But
are those your friends really?
Kuna mtu ako tu hivyo. Kuna mtu ataki watu akipitia mashida zake and you cannot will you throw away that person because they have decided to be seclusive?
Me, I don't know, my friends, they are not like that.
Kama umevijia kavutai kitu.
Yes, like a friendship Mungu alinibariki sana.
But me, I think I give room for everything in that aspect, like the solitude part, because I love my own solitude at times. There are times I don't want to be bothered.
But pay is selfish of you.
It's not selfish.
Because I'm overthinking. Kwani nilikosea Linet?
How kunikosea? Mtu anaweza amua kunyamaza.
Give me a chance to fight for this friendship, man.
It's not going anywhere. As in, I don't get, because there are people who are just born like that. They can go.
But I feel like you owe people something as long as you're in a relationship, because a friendship is a relationship.
What do you owe them exactly?
Respect.
You are respect. You've not disrespected anyone. Just
you want to celebrate with them. Hata mimi nilijisikia, I want you just to go through this alone. Na wewe ujue zangu utakutokea. Hata mimi nitakuwa nazigo through.
That's not how friendship works. You don't reciprocate just because somebody has done this, you do this. You understand somebody. Hapana, unaona mtu akikuja package yenye unapewa una deal nayo venye iko. The same way the minute you become somebody's wife or your husband, utaelewa mtu wako a certain way. There are 10,000 men who have things that you want, but there's a reason why you stay with this one person. Same case, friends are all over. You can make friends anywhere, but you choose this one person and they come as a package. So if part of their life is loving solitude, you just accommodate it and live by it. if they don't like speaking about moments where they are down, there are people who are just nurtured like that, and it's not you as the friend are not the problem. It's their traumas. Maybe back at home they were taught they are always going to be excellent, there's no room for failure. So akiwa na downfall ni nini wanafanya, ana withdraw, anakaa peke yake, and you see that's not on you, that's just them as a personality or them as an.
But I feel personally is equal sign of a friendship, because I feel like at that point utakuwa unajua mse even ndo anafanyanga,
but
so you know.
Na sasa si ndio nakurudisha kwa ile kwa do you think you know everything about your friends?
I think I know not everything, but I feel like,
and you see
they don't know
this traumas,
kama they communicate.
These traumas are part of things that you might not even know or you guys have, because when you I'm trying to understand the first time you met a friend who is like mmejua na juzi 2-3 years, you didn't sit down and start going through, oh, so tell me about your childhood. No, as in traumas alipitia hiyo time zinaweza kuwa vitu zenye hutajua, but along the way
I don't realize kukwambia it will take some time.
Yes, so I don't know, there's so mimi inachetea to a solitude, because I understand you guys, I know how it feels. Like kana mimi nikivunjwa kama moyo, mimi sitaki kuongea na mtu. Kaa uko na mashida zako, I'm dealing with my own, leave me alone. And then when I can get back to smiling and being happy, we can go on with life. Yeah. But I don't siwekangi kando. It's just that time I won't be chatty, I won't have a lot of things to bring up. I'm just in my own headspace trying to navigate maybe that part of life that I am in.
Actually, now if I'm going through something, I want to feel love the most at that period. So I didn't have like staki mni visit, yes, but neza appreciate like kama unatumianga TikTok moja funny, nitumie 50, nicheke, nikigo through solitude na cheka pale peke yangu nikiwatch TikTok. You can tell them to show up like in the smallest way. Au kitoka nini unaweza drop your coffee, you don't even have to talk. Oh, nikuletea fruits na ningo. Okay. But ile at like complete at I don't know.
I think that part I understand, because I've seen there's a time I was watching, they're called Soila and Curtis. They are a Christian based couple, so they were talking about there was a time they had invited this couple that had a miscarriage, and so the couple was talking about friendships and how they have been able to like have there are friends you have as a couple. This is something I was hearing from that podcast. So there are your individual friends and now the friends that come as a couple. So the lady, I remember she said something in the lines of, because you as a woman, you're the one who goes through, I think, the physical pain so much besides the emotional one. So she said during that time, wale wote walikuwa wanakuja kwa nyumba, she was just happy to see them, don't talk, just be there. And I understand the point where you're saying just drop me coffee, bring me fruits. There are people who appreciate just presence. There are others who don't
have to talk. I don't want to talk.
There are some who don't want the presence. They feel like when you come, maybe amezoea, nyi mkikuja, I'm usually the hospitable person. I cook you tea. Now you found me in a state where I can't do any of these things.
But I feel like that's more about you.
And it's not
like a good character. I think it's something that you should.
Hey! You want to say what I say? No. If you're,
you don't always have to be doing something.
No, but you see,
I love them. And most of the time, the reason you're doing all this is because you've not even given them a chance to. Hakuna siku utafika kwa nyumba hata mimi nishikie sufuria. Kila wakati uko kitchen unanipea allow me to date.
No, but you see, there are people who are just not brought up like that. There are people who are taught, mgeni akiingia unafanya nini?
And give them tea. You can unlearn these things.
You can't unlearn Kaptai hospitality.
Kupikia. Wewe unakuja hapa kila siku.
Ukikuta kila siku now that
unaingia unajida kitchen unajiserve unakaa tunaendelea.
But sasa unaona, if it's my happiness to always make people like feel at home, if it's in me, there are people in a friends group who are just called the mother of the group. I've seen that in many friendship circles. Kuna ule mtu tu anakuanga motherly and it's in them and it's not a bad thing and you love them as they come. So if mimi mkikuja kwangu ninasikia vibaya na naambia Hapana.
Tuka first born daughter.
Niko na traumas ni.
But it's okay. But I feel like once in a while, si lazima kila time. Sometimes hata akikuja weke tu maji na ndivyo.
Si ati kila saa nawapikia. Hapana. Kuna time naweza kuja ile mmekuja nayo naambia hata twende tu kwa bag mkule hiyo. Kulikuwa na matunda.
Kuleni tu.
Ama but yeah, people do that. Unachukua bag, unaenda kitchen, unaiosha ile walikuja nayo unakata. And that's because of different scenarios. There's some who don't have, there's some who have a lot, they prefer to give you that. There's some who feel like you're gonna poison them, so they test it out on you. So it's all up in the air. But my conclusion is, if I am going through something and I'm usually a certain type of way, and at this particular time I can't show up in that capacity, just accommodate me.
Yes.
Appreciate my solitude. I'll get back to things even if it will take some time or longer than what you're used to. Just call me.
Yeah.
Ask me. From the call you can tell whether maybe I'm too merudi or not.
Yeah.
So but anyway, nimetetea watu wa solitude.
Ametutetea sana, me included.
Wewe si ndio? Acha niache hiyo story.
I identify as a quiet person. Anyway, I also feel like other signs, and I feel like for most of these signs, don't hadi kusema if friendship in a die. I feel like it has to happen like at least a couple number of times. I feel like, for example, you can tell your friends, hey, you'd appreciate if you guys be showing up for me hivi na hivi. Wakose kusikiza. Or you communicate again. I feel like at that time, even the same, if somebody disrespects you, you communicate the second time, the third time. I feel like unajua that's your cue.
Hiyo ni communication.
I want to support my business.
Yo, I feel like, no, we said if I want to wear nini,
it's okay.
Chanel and you're selling
It's
Koja
okay.
50 bob, me
But
I don't want that.
But I feel like your friends should be happy for you with everything.
But
anything.
Let me ask you. So if you, for example, you sell something, it's something that everyone uses, but then what you're selling is not my level of
but you're not
standard kind. Issue yangu ni don't expect somebody to
purchase usinunue. But I want you like to pick interest in the things I love.
Sasa kama no, let me ask you. You know, friendships are a good thing because
and
they bring in the story of a relationship. Let me ask you, if you go find a man anachezanga PUBG, unajua PUBG nini?
Please.
So,
I didn't get down.
Sasa unaona kinudia forced you because you felt like
force me. I just wanted atinione venye nachezwanga nikajaribu kama inaniboi ndio yangu kucheza na marafiki wako.
Sasa unaona because it was something that you are not interested in. What did you do? Uliachana nayo.
But I was interested. I wanted to know hii inakuanga nini? Oh, ni game ya nini?
Mimi sijui. Ndio watu wanashutiana huko kwa misitu. I don't care. I don't wanna know.
But ile wacha nikwambie ile yenye unaona sasa tukizaona kwa news ati nani has been discovered with 1,000 worth of nini hata one discover for the first time na watu wengine pia kwa nyumba, and this is a person you're in a relationship with.
I don't know, mimi issue ya kusupport na business because I don't know if what you're selling is not my
you don't have to buy it, but unaweza taka kunijulia abadha nini yako inaendelea aje.
Akukuuliza ndakuuliza.
Anakuambia nilichange logo ndio nimetengeneza website. Oh, that's nice.
Kukuuliza ndakuuliza, but sasa
you don't have to do anything.
Mimi I'll promote you, I'll tell my friends about you if it's something that I'm using,
but some to mwenye afanye anything.
Huyo sasa tunajua tu hapa.
Yes, rafiki yako.
Wasi mkaro. But then there's this, but I think I've interacted with a lot of people who've done business, and a lot of them say don't expect support from your friends.
Yeah, true. Because a lot of support kujangi from your friends.
But
imagine just being affirmed by people who are in a close circle. I feel it makes you feel from strangers pia ni poa, but even hearing your friends say because your friends wamekuona ukianza kitu imefika somewhere, I feel like them just affirming you. It's good you to affirm whether you are doing a good work. Thank you.
But what you say?
Thank you.
What is the thin line between you saying because you have to say and you saying it from your heart? Because I
feel for friends like itakuwa natural kusema, but if you're struggling to say, maybe that's not your friend.
Kona wivu.
Because I feel like
wivu.
most of the times when it comes to love, it's we appreciate being seen, because you have seen so unaweza penda tu opponent venye pia wewe unajiona, and the moment you're not feeling seen unaanza kusikia kama you're not being loved, and that's where the dying starts.
So wait, let me put it into perspective. Does every person who's your friend watch your content?
No, but then I have a podcast.
But so you see, for me, I think
but they know.
No, there are like 20 people who don't even know I do this, and it's not my work to tell them. I don't
but
tell
you
them.
Post you.
Yes, I post, but sasa kama hiyo siku view ama me, I don't know. But there are people who are always surprised. Oh, what am I on a podcast? I'm like, yeah, that's not yours to know. If your algorithm works for you, well and good. If it doesn't, it's just not my problem. Yeah. Because my expectation,
because I feel like
my expectation levels with my friends in terms of support, same case as a partner in a relationship, I put them to almost zero. Like I don't in your issue, because I don't want to be very dependent on the fact that I'm expecting you to do this.
Then why are you having a partner?
But you want to tell me
you don't want to expect anything from them. Why are they there?
I've been the last person I was with, like seriously, they weren't we weren't. He knew I was doing a podcast, but beyond that, yeah. So, but I don't know.
But umesema you expect nothing from
businesses
and with partners.
Yes, because I don't know.
You don't expect anything from your friends. Then what's the point of them being
I expect them to be there in a personal space. But anything. If I'm not funny, what happens? You cut me off. Nasa kama na go through my stuff and I don't have to be funny. But imagine that you see, Sasa.
But I feel like you expected as long as we get a relationship. The same way I expect you not to embarrass me nje. So expect kuona scandals zako kicheat and you know you have I expect something of you. Expect respect.
But Sasa, you see.
I expect love. But still you expect nothing from a partner.
Not nothing. But okay, zile vitu common sense. Zenye ni common sense. Common sense is not common to us.
Especially these men.
Mimi nakuanga na vitu naita house rules. I think my house rules are what are my expectation. Okay. Kama hizo unafanya vizuri, the rest are an addition. They don't bring any effect to whether you do it. Some will make me happy, well and good. If you don't do them, it's okay. But at the end of the day, in terms of business, my one strict rule is usually I'll put it out there. If any of my friends decide to speak up for me or advertise, well and good. Usipoamua pia, I don't know why you have your reservations towards it. I will not judge.
But you can feel some type of way.
Yes, like you'll be like, oh, I wish she did that, but then do I take it personally? Ati ninaiweka hadi kwa roho? No.
But I feel like, say for example, like my friend had this big opportunity like to angenipatia na kunipatia. I feel like yes, ni sawa, you know, maybe aliona my business haitani ni ama naweza fika huko aulize mbona umetuletea mse mbaya hivi kazi hadi ajui. Yes, they have a reason. Yes, I can feel some type of way, and I feel like kama ulikuwa umeona there's the shortcoming in a way that I could have affected my craft. Na ungeniambia pia naweza penda nijue why you did not do that. So that's
sasa nikuulize
kama
opportunity imekuja wakati ndio ninaona shortcoming yako. I can't suggest you to people when you have issues. If we work on them first. Kama coincidentally
nimeona nyingine Linet aliniplag na nyingine.
But imagine, always believe in the universe and in God, because I do believe.
I know God cannot give me such friends. That's one thing I know for sure.
But sasa unaona, I think juu kama mimi recently nimeenda place flani, like a concert. I meet this girl with her products, and she didn't know me. She just left me her bag, went to do whatever she went to do, and she came back. So along the conversation, where aleta tu unajua labda na watch podcast unajua nilimwambia mimi podcast away, but anyway, I'm sure she found everything of hers intact. But the bottom line was like how we interacted on a first time basis. I'm not sure all of her friends have done that for her, but I was very adamant to tell her open an Instagram page. She was like, I didn't see the essence, but I was like, yeah, if you need a brand, you need something to back it up with. That's SMM kind of thingy. So I'm like, conversation, if we were friends, like, does she always expect the same from her friends? Because trust me, we talked about her business. You'd think that we know each other from 5 years back, because we were like, she told me how much she sells her products, what stores she's gone to, watu walikata na vitu zake.
I feel,
and you see, we're just random strangers. I think the bottom line ni kuna mtu atakuwa genuinely interested na kazi yako, give them room for it. Also, because the problem with expecting things from people, if this person is not interested,
ama pia I feel like that's not maybe what she looks for in friendships. Ataki mambo ya biashara. Maybe kwangu useme mtu mwingine for friendship, expect you to help me grow career wise. I expect you. Nasema for example, si mimi. Lakini mkisikia job mnipe kazi.
Job referrals hiyo
nayo maybe for friends, she just wants like emotional support, and that's enough for her. Anasikia like ukinipea emotional support, you have fulfilled your job as a friend.
Sasa hiyo ndio nimekuwa nikikwambia na unakataa.
Nasema say you're different. Find friends who whatever you want from them, you get it, and that's why it's important to communicate. Expect nikikuwa na wewe when you plan the friendship, the moment tunamaliza like 5 years, hata nimegrow kiakili, expect something communicate, because spending friends kama ni share, I expect seme maybe for mtu mwingine for friends, nataka tu friends wa kwendanga labda dunda, sinanga friends wa kwenda out, but mimi napenda kwa peke yangu, sitaki advice, sitaki emotional support. So I expect by 5 years of this friendship tumeenda events mia.
But coming back to that specific kind of scenario, that one of having friends who are only for going out, the rampant cases that have been there. No, I'm speaking from I'm trying to throw something in the air. So recently, kama hii case imekuwa mass house, Juliza, every time you go, like people are outside, somebody gets harmed somewhere. But now, is it that you only trusted these people to only be there when you're going out? As in, mtu hana a personal interest ya kukujalia sana. Because I don't understand. If I don't see my friend in 20 minutes, and this is me when I go out, and I rarely do it, like, if I'm deciding to go out an entire night, I carry people that I know, even if I get blacked out, nitajipata mali safe. And that's a culture for us, with the people I go out with. If you don't see me in the next 10 minutes, we start panicking. Uliambu umeenda cho uko wapi? We go to that toilet, we start looking for you. But sasa,
But nilikuwa nimezima kwa leo. Sawa, nataka nenda na sherehe bwana. Sasa nitafuta wakachoka.
You see, maybe I'd definitely be scared if I went out with my friend. Na 5 minutes, ananiambia lenda chosi muoni. It like I didn't sober up, man. Hey, umse ako wapi?
Ama maybe the friends weren't really friends. Unajua kuna
sasa tunaona hiyo. So you see that issue.
Another case scenario ni that these friends mkienda out, wanachukuanga Uber, wanaenda kwa X, wananini so if it becomes a habit, marafiki wanaweza kuwa like hiyo labda ameenda kwa, maybe that can be another case scenario. Labda ameenda kwa nani, kila time anachukua gari anaenda kwa Jonte. Sasa yule mwana labda mtafiti.
But I don't know. Mimi sasa mtuka uwezi kwa rafiki yangu, because you're giving me excess anxiety that I'm not supposed to be happy, and I am out and I'm like, have fun. I can't have fun because of you, because I'm worried about you, and it's just a persona in me. I can't, hatuwezi enda mahali tuende out na wewe and then all of a sudden umepotea, nitaanza kupata stress.
This one is quite weird. Kama for some time back, I think not last year's kind of surface, I think the year before that, ama just an event I was going, kulikuwa na manzi alikuwa hapo amezima hapo kwa entrance, anauliza mabeshto hapa kwa anasema sijui. I feel like it's very weird when, and I'm like, are these people your friends? Ama hizi unaonanga mtu aliachwa hapo ati tulikuwa na mabeshto wa sijui, ameachwa hapo mzima, actually ni strangers wanakusaidia. I feel like people really need to redefine who we are calling friends.
Yeah, and who you carry along when you're going outside mostly, because at this rate the one is very
sense of a friendship. Yeah. Most of these signs I don't expect such things like from friendships. So are these really friendships?
In fact, kama umeshaiachwa kwa club, redefine that thing you're calling friendship. Look at it. If you are in a point of danger and these people were not even interested to call even the following day,
and especially
fikiria maisha yako sana.
And especially like maybe if it was not a habit, at you say atimshie kwa na conversation ya bedha wachanga you can't handle alika na tunataka kukubeba. See, like it was just something. I feel like that's very weird.
Yeah, but anyway, maybe casing point ni I cannot. That's where I reserve myself from going out if I'm not with the right people because I'm scared and nothing is ever far from you. That's usually my policy. Those rape cases you hear, those people being killed and put in a septic tank, you're not at anyone's mercy ati ukue ni wewe hutapatikana. You're always a minute or a second away from it. So work with the right people because you never know if next ni wewe ama ni mwenye mko na yeye. And then unajua kwanza the issue with such issues na kuanga kesi kikuja to a point where the DCI and kind of people are coming in, it's usually who saw this person last, and that becomes unaharibiwa maisha hivyo tu just because you are not be caring of the person that you're with, just that. Juu kama huyo msichana angeniachia bag yake ni amweni itakuwa mtu mbaya, angekosa kuipata, aende apate stress, ni bebe vitu zake, je kama kuja na products zake, no, that's an entire business. So
also going back to your point of business, tulifanyanga men in business, we had done 2 episodes and I always go back to something. Tukifanya AC Bakehouse, she said something kuna ile she doesn't mix like businesses with friendship. She wants her friends to show up as friends and not and I felt like it was a very good point. I feel like it's important because even not only just businesses, pia just stories za pesa. I feel like the line is just let your friends show up as friends. So I feel like inaletanga a lot of confusion because now sasa utakuwa nafikia kwamba sasa utakuwa unatafuta pesa ya kunisupport. But
you see, hiyo ndio pia going to develop to like 25 years later, you are still friends with this person, amekuja amekukopa pesa 100 Gs, now harudishi. It's a habit that formed from back then. Stop. Usianze kusema I didn't think that they would do this. Those small things you ignore. Same case in a marriage or these relationships. You ignore something from minute 1, by minute 60 it is a big thing, you cannot handle it. Imepita boundaries, imesurpass, imekuwa a mountain,
and it's very important to talk about it. I feel like most of the time I expect you to know this, you're my friend. I feel like it's so important to communicate. Watu hawana see Jesus at
hawana emotional quotient.
Yeah, I feel like, and especially if it's your friends, most of the time I doubt your friend will do something out of spite. I'm just like you to bring atinafanya video your friendship die. I feel like it's
a point of love.
Inakwanga wakifanya kwa without any intention or unataka kujua wewe just
that's what I'm saying. It's from a point of love because maybe there's no way
from a point of love.
Okay, kutusi yoni way out of her, that was in the moment of anger, let's call it that. But Seta, I don't know, mimi sijui, but I feel like if you're very genuine, a lot of things you do it from a point of concern, not even love, concern.
So even if you feel disrespected, I think first communicate it.
Yeah. So come
give your friends grace zenye umepea Jonte. Jonte umempea 15 chances kila time.
I am napea Jonte 15 chances. Squeezy ukitrip hivi. Ukitrip hivi. Enda ukaambia mama yako ulivunjwa. Ninasema Jonte arudi kwao. Enda akaambia mama yake alivunja msichana roho. I cannot give you a second chance in this. Unaona venye time inasonga haraka squeeze. Unataka second chance ya kudu what nayo?
There's no time.
Yeah, but anyway,
in fact this economy alafu bado tuna.
But anyway, I think we've tackled a lot. Yeah. We've really also deviated from the topic, but bottom line is it was actually like a friendship audit, but but we've talked about signs that you feel like zinaweza kuwa zina affect your relation with somebody.
And if this thing cause imekuwa pattern, maybe
please go and check on it, and it helps you minimize friends
and it's okay for friendships to die.
But somebody yesterday Nini just Ivy posted something on her timeline. It was a collab with Tiramisu. So she was talking about incidences that have happened in their 25 years of friendship. So somebody down there, first comment was this person who said how I wish I'd write this with my best friend. We were friends 11 years, but now we are not together. So Kenyans being Kenyans with their unsolicited advice. Kanza kwambia, oh please go and reconcile with them. 11 years is too much time to waste. Blah 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 blah. Watu wakaongea. The person who tweeted or texted that first or commented that first aliwaambia, I'm already done with it. We cannot undo whatever was done. So now it became a whole topic because algorithm, or however it works. But I saw a lot of people asking the same question. So if you had an 11-year long friendship, are you going to throw it away, or will you try and make it work for you guys? And I was like, I don't know what I'd have done if it were me. 11 years. 11.
Okay, honestly, and I feel like we have not met, like there's a lot of love outside there. The same nasemanga would you rather, for example, would you rather have your best friend for the rest of your lifetime and not be able to make any other friends, or lose your best friend but be able to make other friends?
But Sasa, there's a reason why this person is your best friend. They have accommodated
you 20 people who will be
they have accommodated you in ways that no one else has done that, and that is why they're still there. Because trust me,
no, but I'm not going to detach.
Story na kudetach. Me personally, I know myself. The 11-year thing would be a question for me, but if it was something that was
you can mourn it, mourn it and still move. The two can coexist. You can still mourn and not want to go back. Learn to appreciate and
but then you know, for 11-year friendship, you have to really do a proper analysis and ask yourself.
Because especially if you've tried to save it and nothing is like changing, there's nothing more you can do. Just mourn it, move on.
Mourn it and move on.
It's okay to feel bad. It's okay, you can try to. Especially I feel like I'm assuming because for 11 years lazima mjaribu what's the issue, can we reconcile this? Lazima mkwe mjaribu ku work out hizo stuff. Ikifika point haiwezi work out, you won't die if you leave that person.
Utakufa. So for you'd rather leave your best friend and find 20 other friends.
By means just sema hivyo. Anaweka maneno kwa mdomo.
Best friend nitamuona nyumba yake. Hata tukimaliza hapa nampigia.
They are putting words in my mouth.
Which words? Si wewe ndio umeuliza swali.
Mimi nimesema niliona would you rather. Nikauliza kinajaribu sikujibu.
So wewe ndio ulikuwa unauliza na swali na unajibu.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of love outside there.
That's
the same way.
The
same way unasikianga if kama home kuna toxicness nini ati, but it's family. Kuna watu they are willing to be your family in terms of friendships. Lynette, the same way yes, umeka in a marriage it's okay to leave. Same with toxic.
But I'm excusing relationships na marriages sana, but then ikikuja, I feel like that's what people do. When it's a marriage, you're told, leave, don't even look back, leave.
If it involves a man.
But then, why okay, there is no room for grace for men. That's not a thing.
You give grace to that man. You're das, ata ronga yote itafuta. Kitengine yote itafuta.
But no, on a serious note, you believe we should not give grace to men?
I feel like kuna vitu zinaweza peana grace, but
what particularly can we give grace?
Nilikwambia nikuje na take out, nikakwambia nataka double cheeseburger.
Too serious kavuta hizi chakula. Chakula hiyo ina shida, tutareconcile hiyo maneno.
I don't know what I can give grace to, but I know what I cannot give grace. It's violence.
That one you encourage,
Cheating kisema kama nitakuwa hypocrite juu nimerudi.
But on a serious note, I don't know.
And violence.
So because I've been asking myself that question a lot. What can I give a man grace for? Okay, if it's in the dynamics of you're trying to figure out your life.
Kama alienda sherehe kazima simu.
akazima simu aje.
Yeah, they can get us cheating.
There are levels to cheating, and that is one of them.
And that is one of them. They are levels to lying or meeting.
I know. Ulisema hivi, sasa kesho ni hivi. But mimi zile vitu naweza kupea grace ni vitu technical za life. Kama unaanzisha biashara na uko in a point where you're starting off, hiyo tunaweza elewana. Beyond that, I don't think.
But I feel like I give more grace to my friends.
Yeah, but now your partner is supposed to be your friend. So yeah. Why not give them?
So it's important to build friendship before we get kwa.
Niliambiwa na mtu niache kufikiria. But anyway, it works.
Asikwambie ujifikirie.
But it works. I'm here to tell people. Labda sikuja taita ex wangu hapa to interview. But anyway. But anyway, on a serious note, make sure you're friends with your partner, because it works.
It's very important.
It helps a lot with a lot of things, and
even it helps you like seeing them as a person and not just as a partner.
But I feel like men don't.
And I feel like it's important, even for friendships, to view like them as a human, them alone, not only like as a friend. It's important to view people as themselves.
The same
kama
way.
rafiki yako ni artist, it's important kumuona kama artist. Sometimes kila wakati tu kama rafiki. It's important to view people as themselves.
So the
same
to
be love is to be seen. Na kwa kuseen tunachanganya. Sarudi kuongelelea.
What is being seen? Is it physical appearance?
Nimesema sarudi kuongelelea.
I believe in that specific
the same
statement.
Unajua when you wanasema like squeezy, the more you grow you see your mom as a woman. You
stop.
Yeah, it's important.
And even your parents, because I tell myself every time as a firstborn daughter, I give them grace because they have not been parents to a 25-year-old. They don't know what to do, and you're expecting them to have.
Even a friend has not been a friend before. Friendship is a kama kuna maduli ulipewa nini ya friendship tutupia pesa tukapewa.
But hujaikuwa best ya mtu.
Nishaikuwa best ya mtu.
Na ukafukuzwa na unataka kukuja hapa nikubebe na baggage yako. Enda ukachange. Go and change your behaviors. But on a serious note,
it's a learning process.
For instances where, because right now I've seen a couple of my friends getting married and I'm like, yo, these people have.
But you have older friends. Singekuwa age yetu.
No, my age. Kafta you. Wewe unajua kuna mtu
teenage marriage is happening.
Teenage marriage, and it makes sense because tulikuwa mimi nilikuwa nauza shangu how they were able to navigate, because she was a teacher back then. So I was asking her, wait, you got pregnant at 17, by the time ulikuwa unaanza kulea and then urudi shule. Yo, I'm here and I can't even navigate. Like, having a saving plan is an issue. And she was like, you see, people, even the times that you are born in are very significant in how you're gonna grow, because that's the environment that you'll be disposed to. So trust me, watu wenye wamezaliwa after sisi, they'll be very tech savvy, as in watakuwa naelewa gadgets more kutushinda sisi. Tulizaliwa the age where sasa ndio ilikuwa inakuja, so we grew into it. Sasa hawa wanazaliwa, AI iko hapo, Google inaambiwa zima TV, so trust me, their brains will be. So at that time alikuwa niambia, si tulizaliwa tukapata, this was what was happening, so there was no room for it to be impossible. It was very possible. So yeah, but at the end of the day, tumesema upe grace to everyone else except from your man.
That was the takeaway. In fact, we like you. It was not how friendships are.
Anyway, we have male people who watch. Kuna jamaa aliniambia na tu watching akifold nguo zake. I don't know how.
Hope you enjoyed. I hope you have taken something home.
But yeah,
love is a beautiful thing. Make sure your friends are your friends.
And check that friendship. Kama kama ni wewe unaenda event unaachwa peke yako, wanakuacha unazima hiyo siku nyingine. Check that friendship. Check it.
Yeah. And I'll also analyze the way you fall short as a friend and be a better friend.
It's not always us.
Also view your friends as human beings, as whole beings.
Whole beings.
Not the sum. Inakwanga the sum.
Some don't.
Kama whole.
We will rewind that. We will. will revisit it.
Yeah,
But anyway, thank you guys so much for today's episode was long. Hatujafanya a longer like this for the
last time my friend alisema hizo zenye tulifanya zilikuwa fupi sana.
14, 15.
Yeah, so shout out to Zelda.
I
hope you like this one.
Thank you. Thank you Zelda. Thank you everyone else. Miss Drake, kuna mtu alikuwa shout out. Mimi sina mtu wa kushout.
We have an audience huku nyuma lakini amioni. Shout out to Agnes Wanjiro and Lilian Jerry. Tungewaambia waseme hi but watasema siku nyingine.
I don't know but to revisit your story.
Yeah.
But anyway, I know for a fact we've not done an episode. We had to. Please, if you've not watched the previous episodes, we call it your name.
Watch. I did another friendship audit.
Yeah.
The one, something about work.
Yeah. So we are now at I think 105 subscribers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for getting us to 100. We were really working towards that.
Yeah.
So sasa tuko na goal. Uzuri wa watu kuhit target, mana create a new target.
Yeah.
So tunataka create a new target. And also on the socials, please click that follow, click
share,
that
subscribe,
follow.
comment.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we don't forget to shout out the people who are the people who allow us to shoot at their space.
We'll give us
Iyote. All this couldn't be coming to your screens if it weren't for them.
And the space is so dope, guys.
Yeah.
I wish naweza chukua hiyo camera ni wapeleke around.
I know.
Yeah.
So
but you can see it at their page.
Yeah,
in Kenya.
If you have a gig, if you have an idea, a brand you want to start out, you want to line up your clothes and help somebody shoot it for you, this is the space. We cannot insist anymore. And for the 2 previous episodes, we got the merchandise. Now uja watch.
So next time.
Yeah, but anyway, Mkenya is the place to be. Mkenya, nimesema mara ngapi Mkenya? Mara 3 kama na hii Samuel penye ditwa. Anyway. I can't emphasize it anymore as the captain has said. So if you have any inquiry you want to make about the space, you have a podcast you want to start, they are the best.
Or you have it and you're looking for space.
Yeah, they're the best people to share your brand idea with. I always repeat the fact that we gave them an idea, and now people get to enjoy content because we merged and brought something quite beautiful. Yeah. So please check out their page and stay tuned for more content. Located along
Thika Road.
Apple?
Tall.
Yeah. Utaona hata signage.
Just after Kimbo, if you're coming from Thika, just after K Road.
Yes. If you want to visit the space and make inquiries, there's a phone number, there's a page, there's an Instagram page. Please check them out. Thank you so much and have a beautiful week. We love you.
Bye.